Yeah, just listen to this song. Just listen to this take on such a great song. So this version of To Live Is To Die, What If It Was on Ride the Lightning, was brought to you in part by Bryce Berea. Without Bryce Berea, you would not have this version of To Live Is To Die, originally written by Metallica, released on the album And Justice For All. I really like how this came out. Part of me wishes this is actually the official version. That's not knocking on the original version, but holy crap, it really is not easy, comparing anything to the original version of To Live Is To Die. But this one here is right up there with it. So, yeah, now that you've all had that great intro there for about the last 7 or 8 or 10 minutes, so my name is Tony Ortega, and we're going to jump into some games for you. So I'm probably going to play for about an hour and a half, roughly. Because I'm going to, get to some election night stuff. So having said all that, guys, happy election day. Get out there and vote. Not going to be a political stream. Just going to be a hangout, chill stream. I'm going to play some Train Sim World 2. Un momento, por favor. Por favores. Let's actually use my webcam here. Should have had that up. Oh, that's wild. There I am. So I think we're going to make a run on the Sherman Hill grade, I'm pretty sure. We're going to change up the music because I don't feel like listening to that song. So. Didn't really have much to talk about tonight, so that's the reason for kind of the short stream, but I'll play a game here for you. Really pretty much indecisive as to what this stream was actually going to be about, so hence the name of the title. Should tighten that up. So we're going to run the Sherman Hill scenario here. We're going to explore timetable that That. No. INPR green. Got to have something INPR lead there. Granite quarry? Laramie sand. Run something in our model. Got to do something here real quick. Cheyenne to Hermosa. Such weird routing. It'd be like Cheyenne all the way to oh, you guys are doing well, doing awesome. Did a quick blood check here. 104. It's not bad. I don't know if the camera could even pick that up, but yeah. Yeah, barely. It's good. Check your blood sugars and check it often. Oh, diabetes. Anyway. So this setup is all wonky and stuff. Air brakes leads cut in. Yep. So we good. Put the reverser in. Yeah, need air brakes lead. Air brake check. INPR 5006. Another train apparently backing into the yard there. Hi. Door opens up one way, not the other. Oh, hold on, I did this incorrectly. Did that incorrectly. Cab signal fuse on. It's the most stupid thing ever when it comes to this game. Oh, no. Yeah. Helps if I turn this stuff on. Hey, might help. It's been a minute since I've actually played this game, so that's why that's happening. Why does it sound like one unit's in trailing mode? Hate the way this sound. Yeah, it sounds like I've got one unit in idle. Like it's my lead unit. Lead cut in. DP remote disabled. What the? Like, for some reason, it sounds like I have one motor that's actually in idle. Like, you can hear it, it's in idle for some reason. So I've got the lead cut in. So that's right. Deeper remote disabled. Hold on. Dynamic brake only. What the? No wonder. Not in run. I don't know why that was in dynamic brake. That's right. That's right. Maintenance light off. Don't need that on. Okay. There you go. Freaking game, you try to thwart me? How dare you? You will be punished for that. Okay, now we all got it sorted out. INP 5006 now leaving Cheyenne, west for Laramie. That's such a great look. By the way, thank you to Mr. Andrew Beeman for designing these INP units. He not only did these cream and green ones that you see here, but he also did the red ones too. By the way, this doesn't have any sugar in it. Excuse me. Busting ass uphill, 37 miles an hour. Hurrah! Got the high green to go. Just going past the Dale Junction cutoff. That looks super fast. Go to the other side to shut that one off. Let that one sink in. The fact that locomotive windshield wipers are air powered is kind of dumb. I thought there was a railroad crossing ahead. Guess not. Also, I'm drinking out of my Titanic Honor and Glory mug there. Awesome stuff. Stop at location 31 miles away. What if I don't want to? Just keep going. Looks like somebody might want to come into the stream. Or maybe not. I guess no. That's right, moving up this hill, notch 8, baby. 43 miles an hour. Oh my. Looks like I blew the horn a little late on that one. What's weird is that the alert or reset button is actually not functional on these in this game, but it is perfectly functional in Run 8. Like, it's very weird. You can press the alert or reset all you want, but it doesn't do anything. That's a very interesting remix of a song. It's funny I can drive and text at the same time. Bah! I'm a funny guy. I'm a really funny guy. Excuse me. Still hanging at a solid 34 miles an hour uphill. Means I got plenty of power on this train. Yada 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 yada. Yada. I mean, fair enough, I do have 4 motors in the front and 2 in the back. All SC70 ACEs. Hey, hey.
Yes.
What's going on, man?
Just life.
Just life and everything in it?
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm doing kind of a short stream. Got a little bored today, so I'm just driving a train over Sherman Hill, and that's about it, you know?
What is this game anyways?
Train Sim World 2.
No big boy?
No big boy. Sadly, no Steam. No Steam locomotives.
That's a ripoff. No Steam, no buy.
I'd like to see them come out with an actual good Steam game for once. I mean, Steam locomotives, that is.
I bet there's probably a DLC you could buy or get or whatever.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Otherwise, our buddy Andrew would actually know a thing or two about that. More, for sure. I think you got something rubbing up against your microphone.
Nah, that's me messing with something. It's plastic and making noise.
Ah, okay.
Did it go away?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, let's mess with the plastic bag. Aren't you gonna put that thing in notch 8 and really another screen?
Oh, it's already in notch 8. I'm surprised I'm actually holding 30 miles an hour uphill.
Need more power.
I'm actually surprised it's actually going as... I wish I could add more units. I think this game...
more power.
I think this game kind of does lack the one thing I do like the best is, you know, your ability to build your own train.
Yeah. It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Otherwise, like 30 miles an hour up a 1.5% grade's not bad. Considering that I already have like 4 units up front and 2 in the back, so.
Just forever and boring.
Wow, the track took a second to render there.
Makes it all seem like you got a potato for a computer.
It's not a bad computer.
No, I know that. I just said the way it's acting, it makes it seem like you have a potato for a computer. But you don't.
No.
Of course, you've only got a 1080 Ti or 1080.
1080 Ti.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, it's a great graphics card, but it is starting to show its age, though.
It's what? Now you're technically 3 generations behind?
Technically.
Okay, there's the RTX 20 series, the 30 series, now the 40 series.
I think the fact that it didn't help that NVIDIA fucked off, essentially, with the 30 series. 40 series I would probably consider when it comes to me actually finally able to do an upgrade.
I have mixed feelings on that.
Well, you're not gonna get your... Go ahead. You're not gonna get yourself a 40 series?
Not for $1,600. No. I might go with that Ryzen XTX 7000.
Oh,
it's
that's right.
$1,000.
That's right. You're on Ryzen.
Yeah, I got the Ryzen 950 900X. Well, it's not even that. It's so. What's crazy is you're gonna maybe be 15 to 25% off from the 4090 card, right? But that thing's pushing 450, almost 500 watts. And if you really let it go, like if you get overclocked and stuff, you can pump that bad boy to 600 watts. But the Ryzen XTX 7000, it's got 24 gigs of VRAM. It's got 325 power watt limit on it, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's like 100 watts less, and it's going to be maybe 25% slower than the 4090. Yeah, it's not going to be great at ray tracing, but let's be honest. Right now, I don't play that many games, and the games that I do play, Railroads Online, Ultimate Admiral, Dreadnoughts, they don't have ray tracing enabled. I don't own any AAA titles right now that have ray tracing. So it's like, do I spend $600 more for a bigger, fatter, hotter than hell card that's been having stupid amounts of issues with the overheating and the power draw, the melting pins? There's been reports now that even the non-NVIDIA pins are starting to melt. They're having issues.
Yeah, that's... my brother-in-law and I were talking about that last week. Something really weird about their heat sinks is going on with especially with the 30 series graphics cards. He bought a brand new 3090. He had to take his apart himself and put more fucking thermal paste on it because that card was overheating. Yeah. Literally, he had to put more thermal paste on it, and that didn't make him happy. He goes, dude, I spent like $2,000 buying this card, and I got real lucky on that. And this is his words verbatim. And I bring it home. I put it in my computer, and the damn thing is overheating, basically doing nothing. So he takes it out of his computer, he opens it up, and he sees like the thinnest layer of thermal paste he has ever seen. And he's like, what the fuck is that? Yeah, he goes, well, I just, because he did that, he averted a potential major crisis,
Yeah.
burning up an expensive graphics card.
Yeah.
So we were also talking about basically building me a new computer next year or within the next year or two. You know, and I'm thinking, like for me, I'd maybe go 3070 or maybe 4070. I don't need the most powerful computer ever to do what I need it to do. You know, sure, I want to play games, but I also want to do live streams. Obviously, you know.
I mean, I don't remember what kind of. I think you have an Intel rig right now, right?
Yeah, I got an Intel rig, 4790.
Yeah, 4790. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had the money right now, or could, bribe somebody to buy all the stuff for you, and you just pay them back slowly, right? If you have a micro center near you, like right now is the fucking time to buy a video card and a motherboard and CPU.
Yeah, I saw that deal.
Shit you not.
I saw that deal on Micro Center, and unfortunately, there isn't a Micro Center anywhere in Washington State. Anywhere.
I know.
But
go ahead.
Like the closest absolute Micro Center to me is one ironically up in Vancouver, British Columbia, and that's in Canada. That's in Canada, eh?
And I don't think you have a way to get up there. I don't know if they'd sell it to you. Their shit's more expensive anyways, I think.
It'd equate to about the same price. It's more in terms of Canadian dollars, you know, but they'd sell it to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It costs you more because you have to have the currency transfer. The currency conversion rate's going to be more because you got to pay. You pay less and then you pay a fee to convert, which is so fucking stupid, but whatever.
Yeah. And so we were talking, you know, that once we get my computer and stuff upgraded, you know, he wants the 1080 Ti back so he can actually put it on a wall and say this graphics card was awesome. Basically, give it its final retirement.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you had the money, now's probably the best time. Even if you have to get a credit card, maybe it might be worth it because the Ryzen, if you go with the old AM4 system, yeah, you'll max out at, say, 16 cores and 32 threads and DDR4. But right now, it's probably the prime time to, if you want to buy like an 8-core or a 12-core like I've got, and then you can always just drop a 16-core in a year or two from now with the Ryzen 9 5900 XT, or 5900X, or 5950X. Sorry.
How much did you pay for your graphics card, Ben?
Way the fuck too much. $1,500.
$1,500.
Yeah. Now that same goddamn fucking card's like $800. So fucking pissed.
Yeah, it's literally just half the price. Hey, Boxcar, how you doing, sir? Yeah, it's like half the price for what you paid for it.
Yeah. But here's the thing, and if you want to get a 3070, you got to buy that shit fucking now because Nvidia's they're gonna be scumbags. They're already being scumbags. They way oversupplied. So what they're gonna do, and a lot of people are seeing it now, is they'll have a really strong initial launch on their 4090 and their 4080 16 gig, and then they're going to purposely slow down the amount of shipments and keep it out of stock or limited stock, so more people are like, I'll just buy the 3070 or the 3080 or the 3080 Ti and shit like that, or 3090.
Yeah.
And they'll still sell them at the same ridiculous fucking prices. Whereas right now, like the AMD products and the AMD video cards, dude, they're like $300, $500. I mean, they are selling that shit as fast and as cheap as they can because they just want to make room for the new product lineup.
Well, you remember a couple of years ago, they got heavily ridiculed for doing all those mining graphics cards. Remember that?
From NVIDIA, yeah.
Yeah, they got ridiculed hardcore for that shit.
Yeah, well, I know why NVIDIA did it. They need the money. Because remember, NVIDIA is only GPUs. AMD, they've got other fires that they can make money on, like, graphics, they got processors. They've got some other technology that they also do that they can make a little extra money on. So that's not their problem. Their problem winds up being, NVIDIA's got to make the money while the money's there to be made. Even though they lied about it. I don't think too many people would have had a problem with it to say, hey, look, we want to give you guys gaming stuff, but there's a price point that y'all can afford. These miners, dude, they're paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a card. We need to go where the money is at so we can keep you guys going with big bucks.
Yep. That's good to hear, Boxcar. It's good to hear, man. Good to see you back in the stream. It's been a minute. So, yeah, NVIDIA done screwed up. They burned a lot of reputation, especially with the PC community, with the stuff they did. Yeah, EVGA did like the most epic FU thing I've ever seen anybody do to NVIDIA. And you know what? NVIDIA deserved it. They shot themselves in the leg. And I don't feel sorry for them. I really don't.
Did you ever look at... Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I was going to say, look at videos from Gamers Nexus of the EVGA 4090.
Yeah.
Dude, that card looked freaking smoking.
Yeah.
It's smaller than a lot of the other cards, and it's a banger. EVGA would have come out with one hell of a smoking card. But
oh yeah,
I in a way kind of see what that they knew something was wrong with that card. They knew something was wrong with NVIDIA. I also they had insider knowledge, but man, NVIDIA might straight up do a complete recall in the 4090s and maybe even the 4080s. That's what it's looking like.
Personally, I think what they did is they rushed it out.
No, I think what it is they got scared of AMD. AMD's scared them really bad. With good reason. I mean, look at what the XTX, which, by the way, NVIDIA bend the crap out of their 4090s, and they took the best bendings over their products, and they're giving their board partners kind of the mediocre/medium runs. Maybe not the prime like the AMD does.
Yeah.
AMD says, hey, we're just going to take the bare minimums. You guys, you want to smoke them out, make them OCs and stuff? Perfect, you guys do. We're just going to take the bottom line bare minimums. But, I mean, if you look at it, though, those things are running hot. They're running hard. And the AMD ones, they're scared of AMD because, think about this. I watched a guy by the name of Moore's Law is Dead. And what he was noticing is, notice how it was a single stack memory chip on the memory side?
Yeah.
Well, if you doubled that, you could essentially get... They're saying basically you can get RDNA Plus and get anywhere between a 25 and a 50% bump over the RDNA 3. Just based on making the die size smaller by going to N4, 4 nanometer. Right now it's only on 5 nanometer. Whereas NVIDIA's on 4 nanometer and they're pushing 800 millimeters squared. That's huge. I mean, I think the maximum die size is like 900 something, almost 1,000 millimeters, 950. So I mean,
1,000 millimeters size, is insane, man.
Yeah. Basically, it's 1 millimeter in square area. That's like maxing out, and then your returns are so small. Well, all AMD has to do is just double stack the memory, get it on the N4 for the main core architecture, dump 25% more shaders in there, and dude, they could make that card 50% more. So I would not be surprised within 2023, ending of 2023, they come with an RDNA 3 plus. that just comes out and starts smoking the bejesus. Because maybe NVIDIA can come up with an extra 10 to 15% over the 4090 on their 4090 Ti or 4090 whatever. But the 49...
Go ahead, I'll let you finish up, man.
No, you're good.
Boxcar the Husky says, I know nothing about computer parts, but it sounds interesting. Lol. Stick around and you shall learn, my friend. Anyway, continue.
I get all my stuff from people like Gamers Nexus and Moore's Law is Dead.
Yeah.
Those are like my go-to guys. They know a lot of stuff. But I try to keep up with computer stuff.
I tend to go to Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 cents, but I really favor Gamers Nexus a lot more though. Atlantis Tech Tips does a really good job, but except I think he favors like a lot of like the latest and greatest stuff every single time. That's kind of my only problem with him. You know. Other than that, you know, he's a good dude with a lot of good information. But Gamers Nexus is my favorite. Have you ever heard of Robitech?
Can't say that I have.
It's basically that guy on YouTube that, you know, builds computers with his brain powers, essentially. He does it for people. So that's another gentleman sometimes I tune into when I need ideas for computer parts and stuff.
Fair enough.
So it's Robitech. It's ROBYTECH. It's all one word.
Okay.
Yeah, so I recommend you check him out. He does a lot more like live stream stuff, as opposed to short form videos. But he is worth a check though.
Now, computer building wise, I don't really watch too much computer building because I don't have. I mean, I'm not the best computer builder in the world, but I can build it. I'm more interested in the tech news side of life when it comes to like, you know, the latest and greatest technology, who's doing what, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I think when it comes time for me to, you know, actually build a new computer, you know, my brother-in-law and I, you know, the guy who will actually help me do it, because he used to build computers for a living, still kind of does. Just doesn't get the time like he used to. But he'll help me do it, and when it comes time, we'll then decide what it is we'll actually want. You know, if we want AMD stuff, if we want Intel stuffs, if we want NVIDIA stuffs, you know, whatever my needs are for the time.
Well,
because we'd be looking at a total upgrade, new motherboard, new graphics card, new chipset, new everything, basically, you know?
Well, my kind of feeling right now is, unless Intel starts supporting boards longer than TikTok, which is like the Z790 comes out, and it's good for 2 processors, then you gotta buy all new. Well, that's kind of fucking frustrating to me. That's what AMD was so successful at was, hey, you have an AM3 board, sorry, an AM4 board, say an XD70. As long as you had a BIOS support for it, dude, you could dump a 5800X in there.
Yeah.
So you could go with the 4-year-old motherboard, 5-year-old motherboard. Think about it. The first Ryzen price came out in 2017. Here it is, 2022.
Yeah.
And so you could dump a Ryzen, a 16-core processor into an XD70 board. Now, granted, you won't get the PCIe Gen 4, but the fact that you can go from 8 cores of Zen 1 to 16 cores of Zen 3. Hello? Can you say hell of an upgrade? All you gotta do is just drop in the buy probably a better cooler and a freaking processor. What, $800, $900 upgraded? That's if you bought the 16 core at 750 and didn't wait for it to come down in pricing.
You know what's weird? That like the when I do get the new computer built, you know, whenever that may be, it's going to be the interesting the jump that I'm actually going to make in the motherboard technology department. Because right now I've got it's going to be leaps and bounds. Because right now I have an Asus Hero 7 showing its age. And when I get the new motherboard, whatever that will be, that's going to be like pretty significant, you know.
Oh yeah.
Because like they have like fucking Hero 12s out there and whatever new stuff Asus actually has.
Agreed. I mean, like I said, now with AMD firing on all cylinders like they are, you can get a lot of the same. I mean, it used to be you only wanted to get good motherboards and shit, you had to go with Intel. Well, not the case anymore.
Yeah.
So, like I said, if you're going to go on a budget build right now, I would highly recommend an AMD system and AMD video card because AMD is pricing their shit to move. I mean, they are not sitting on their laurels. They want to move their stock and they want to move it fairly fast, but at a fair price. So I mean, and they're actually below MSRP from what they were originally selling them for a couple of years ago. Heck, what was it? I was looking at a 6900 XT, like what I have. I think I saw it as low as like $600-700.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like I said, when I paid for mine, I would have waited a whole fucking year.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, it just depends on, you know, the funds availability and stuff, you know, but hopefully we don't get another pandemic in the way that screws chip supply from East Asia and whatnot, because that was like the biggest thing back in 2022, besides COVID, was the chip supply from Taiwan and China.
Well, I don't know.
I'm also looking to get a PS5 as well, but they're still hard as hell to come by.
Unfortunately, for what it's worth, I would say you'd be better off building a computer and just not getting a PS5.
I like the
They're
best
so
of both worlds.
and- yeah.
That's why I
You
get it,
might be
because I
able to
like the
find
best
the
of
most
both
of those-
worlds.
You might be able to get all those games on that are on PS5 onto a computer, though.
Yeah.
if
Also,
you get them on-
because I could play some cross-platform games with my brother, because he's strictly on Xbox. He doesn't have a PC or anything like that.
Really?
Yep. Doesn't want a computer, just wants his Xbox. You know, and I'm not going to force him. If he's perfectly content with that, then, you know, let him be. I still have my PlayStation 4 right here on the desk, you know. Go ahead, man.
You can always get you a second controller and just play on the same game system and not have to LAN party or anything like that.
Now we just cross-platform shit. That's what we do.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have a second controller, you guys can just play on the same system.
He does actually have a second controller, believe it or not.
Go back to the old days of split screen.
Man, I miss those. I was actually playing old school Ghost Recon the other night. The first Ghost Recon from like 2002. And I was actually harking back to my, you know, PlayStation 2 days. I'm like, you know, I really miss the split screen. Come on, man. Way we used to do it back in the day, baby.
Yeah.
We didn't have this online BS. We had it. We had our friends over at our house, and if they'd got too cocky, we punched them. Yeah.
Hopefully the shoulder, not in the mouth.
Or like, yeah, I didn't actually punch somebody, but you know, came close a few times. Man, imagine me getting turned into the cops for assault and battery.
Yep, we were different back then too, though.
Yeah.
We weren't a bunch of soft winkies.
Yep. Boxcar the Husky says, I forgot how much computers are. I should ask for base models. Like a good computer will, I don't know, run you in the neighborhood of about $2,000 to $3,000 US. That's for a decent gaming rig or something, you know? And that's with all the parts and labor included.
Yeah, it depends. That's why I like Gamers Next, like you were talking about, where they've done their like pre-built so you can go out and buy them and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of some companies out there that are very reputable that actually do very good pre-built gaming rigs, you know. Like
just don't mix Nvidia. Sorry, just don't mix Dell and Alienware in your mouth there, because they aren't good, reputable pre-built.
No, it's go with Meta PC or something like that. You know, something that actually has a much higher reputation score.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand that most people aren't going to kit bash their own computers together. And that's fine. You know, they could still find people that are reputable enough that'll actually build their PCs to their specifications, you know, and pay a decent price for it.
It wasn't it? I think it was Linus made a computer making company or a computer building company.
Yeah, Linus Tech Tips, technically yes.
Yes, well, I mean, Linus owns the company, not the Tech Tips itself per se.
Yeah,
Not the store. I forgot what they called it. But yeah, it's like $100 to build. You buy the parts from them and you pay $100 and they build the dumb thing for you. I looked at some of their stuff and I was like, it's okay. I mean, would I pay that? Maybe. I mean, and to be fair, they do have to market, because you can't tell me you can build the computer for $100. There's no profit there. There's no fucking way.
No.
You figure if it takes somebody 2 hours to put the computer together, you gotta pay them minimum $15 an hour. So you're into it for a minimum of $30.
Boxcar said, nah, brass model trains, not computers. Okay. My bad, I thought you minced your words there. I minced his words. Because I thought he meant something else entirely. Like brass model trains, you know, you're gonna pay a pretty penny for.
Oh, probably like one and a half times more than what the base model is, because brass is expensive as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
Especially Lionel brass.
Did Dan the Man ever show you his brass and scale locomotive he's got?
No, I don't think so.
I'll have to. Well, clearly he doesn't have it because he's got everything in storage now, but he'll have to show it to you one day. He's got a brass Northern Pacific steam engine. In scale.
I haven't even looked at the Lionel. Go ahead.
I was just reading Boxcar's comment here. It said, Boxcar the Husky says, You're good. I model S scale, so brass is the go-to if you want steam. Yeah, very true, and that shit's also heavy too.
Ah, S scale.
Yep. Yeah.
It's more for narrow gauge. That's what I've seen it mostly used for, is narrow gauge.
You know, the one gauge that really throws me off when it comes to proportions of the freight cars and stuff is G-scale. G-scale is weird, man. Like, G-scale always looks disproportionate to me when it comes to their wonky freight cars, but I think that G-scale has the same problem as S-scale, is that a lot of it is narrow gauge too.
No, I think G scale is kind of more standard in terms of like what they do. What might throw you off is if they actually make a decent replica
Yeah.
of a narrow gauge locomotive, because the narrow gauge locomotives are actually like smaller size, and the boxcars. You ever see the old photos and stuff of the narrow gauge locomotives pulling a standard gauge boxcar and shit when they had an idler car between them, or a special coupling?
Not offhand, dude.
A standard gauge boxcar being towed by a narrow gauge locomotive looks fucking weird to begin with. Well, to give you some context, think about this. Especially the older, like, K36, K28, K27, shit like that, or the C class, the consolidation class locomotives. Those guys are like smaller than their K37, K36 counterparts, first of all, and they are way, way smaller than their standard gauge counterparts because they're just that small. So, like, you know how big a standard gauge, a narrow gauge boxcar is, right? And how a narrow gauge is a smaller narrow gauge locomotive compared to those. Well, now put a boxcar that's, I don't know, 49, 50 feet long, and sitting, the height of the box itself is what, 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall on top of 2 foot of truck. They look fucking small. I mean, they're just like, what?
Yeah, that is wild stuff there.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to ask my friend Jason about proper operations of dynamics. One of the guys that works for UP.
Why is the dynamics not working quite right in the game?
I don't think I understand fully how it works.
No?
That's my main thing, because I don't know how it actually is meant to operate. I know that that in real world, the physics of the thing is actually meant to help keep your train under control while you are going downhill and stuff.
Yeah. So what a dynamic brake does is you take the motors and you ramp them up to be gigantic. You remember like the resistance on like a treadmill, like on a bike, on one of those exercise bikes where you can start cranking up the resistance and it becomes really hard to turn that thing. Well, that's what winds up happening to the motors on the diesels is when you put them in dynamic braking mode.
Yeah. Well,
you can have it notch one.
Yeah, because what dynamics is supposed to do is it effectively turns your traction motors into the brakes themselves, sort of, and then it reverts the electricity up into your dynamic radiators, creates heat, and fan has to blow it out because it has to create resistance in those traction trucks to slow your train down going downhill and stuff.
Agreed. Yep.
I remember watching that one video years ago about about Cajon Pass, the operations of Cajon Pass, and they were riding along with a BNSF engineer that kind of explained the use and the dynamics of, said dynamics braking, And he said every time he's going down Cajon, he's cooking those brakes a lot.
Mm-hmm. Fascinating story is a lot of times you can't use the emergency brake interchange with the dynamic braking. So if the engine goes into emergency braking, it usually disables the dynamic braking, which is counterintuitive in my opinion.
Yeah, that is a very, very weird system, because I'm assuming that's basically to keep you from putting your train on the ground, essentially, is what I'm getting from that, maybe.
Now, if the train goes into emergency brakes, if you dump the air and you go into emergency, it shouldn't have you. It's not going to affect anything. If you're going into emergency, you've already got a problem. You need as much braking power as you can get. But, I know in some cases, unless they've changed it, it used to be, it was either or. You could either be dynamic braking or you could be in regular train braking, but I don't think you can use both. Now, they might have changed that, but if the game allows you, what you should do is you should set that dynamic braking. If you're going downhill on a steep hill, the moment your train probably starts making back a third of it down or a third over the hill, set the dynamic braking on your train to maximum. And then once you start picking up speed, hit it with the brakes. Hit a brake for set the brakes to 20% and hold it for about a minute or three. They bring down the speeds and let up and recharge, reset. That kind of thing.
Yeah, because from what I understood, kind of vaguely so, is that you can alternate between dynamics and regular braking, if need be. Like I said, I'll be asking these questions if we can get Jason Montgomery back on, because he'd be a really cool dude to talk to. He does work in mountainous territory himself as a railroader, for UP, so he would know pretty well this sort of stuff and how you do it.
Okay.
But Boxcar the Husky says, my first SCAL model was narrow gauge. It's a Newfoundland Railway NF 210. It runs on HO scale track to represent, a 3 foot 6 inch Cape gauge. I've got standard gauge stuff made by American Models. Oh, okay.
3.5 foot gauge.
Yeah, that's 3 foot
That's
6
weird.
inch. Yeah, that is weird. It's a really weird gauge.
I'm used to 3 foot gauge for the narrow and 4 foot 8.5 inches for standard gauge. Where does 42 inch gauge run anyway? I've never heard of them.
What's that?
I said, where does 42 inch gauge? I'm sorry, I'm going back to my old days when I worked on the DNSF. We didn't call it 4 feet 8.5 inches. We called it 56.5.
Yeah.
Just because it's so much fucking easier to go It's 56 and 3/4, not 4 feet 8.5. Blah fucking blah. 56 this, 57 that. It was so much easier to do it that way than to, you know, say it the long way.
Yeah, that's right. You know, because in railroading, you say everything the long way, and then you think backwards too.
I don't know, thinking backwards, but we do shit backwards.
And you
Well,
walk backwards too. He says it's 42-inch gauge, which is 3 feet 6 inch.
Yep. Where does that kind of train run at? That's what I'm curious.
Yeah, where does that kind of train run at there, Boxcar? That'd be very interesting to know.
I'd like to ride it because I've never seen 36 and a half. Or 42 technically, but yeah.
You know, I must admit that the game graphically looks beautiful here.
You should download MSI Afterburner, man. This way, every so often, you can just see how many frames per second you're doing and what your CPU and what your GPU temperature doing.
I should. I mean, it does look like I'm doing a full 60 frames a second here because it is pretty smooth.
Did you lock it down to 60 frames only, or do you let those next as it'll go?
I don't have it fixed at 60 frames, but my main monitor is 60 frames per second.
No, it doesn't matter if it's 60 hertz or not.
Or 60 hertz, sorry.
It's okay. And you can still have a 60 hertz monitor. You can still have it pumping out 200 frames.
He says they were very common in South Africa and Japan. Newfoundland picked it because it was cheap. South America as well. Okay, so yeah, that would make sense. 3 foot 6 inch gauge in South Africa. I know that was a thing there.
So he's in Finland, or he's just a fan of the Finland train.
Are you in Newfoundland there, Boxcar? Are you like hold on. Africa and South Africa, common in Africa, Japan, Newfoundland, picked it as well. So I mean, yeah, you know, are you in Newfoundland or something, Boxcar? Don't have to give us your address or anything, just like a general locale.
We got interesting to know, anyways. See how broad of a spectrum you got for somebody watching your stream.
Yeah. Oh, he says he's just a fan. He's from Oklahoma. Oh, that's right.
Oh, he's Okie. Okie dokie.
Yep. He's from the OK state.
That's cool. So I guess he's just okay.
Put it this way, man. He's in that state just north of your state. Literally shares the northern border of your state.
Yeah, I drove through Oklahoma earlier this no, not earlier. In September, October, I drove through Oklahoma with my friend James and I going to do train shit.
That is awesome.
Yep. Of course, I have mixed feelings about the Kimbers and Toltec Railroad right about now.
Oh, did they burn you bad or something?
They didn't burn me. They burned a friend of mine who worked there. can't really say a whole lot, but like,
say no more, man.
well, no. What I can say is they did him really wrong, and they've also had a humongous problem in that organization right now. Like, there's probably going to be a change of ownership. The railroad is owned by the states of Colorado and New Mexico, but there's an operating company. From the sounds of things, it sounds like the operating company may no longer be the same operating company in the next several months because of all the shit that's going down there right now.
That doesn't
That's
sound
how
too
bad
promising.
it's got.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me some of this stuff off stream if you want.
Let's put it this way. A little birdie told me that that the FRA doesn't have much jurisdiction, but if it did, there would be blatant and bad FRA violations with like phone usage, and that they don't use they use a mixture of hand signals and radio signals, but even on the FRA or anybody else, you have to say, "Hey, we're going to hand signals. We're going to radio. We're going to hand signals." You know, they don't do that. They've had several close calls. They've had many a thing happen, and it's when I showed my friend the meme. Not the meme, but showed him the 475. He's like, "Yeah, something like that's probably going to happen there sooner or later." That's what
wild,
he said. I was
dude.
like, "Holy shit!" Yeah,
That's
that's
wild.
That's crazy. So, but I know my friend. He's thinking about going to a different railroad. But in other news, a guy that I used to work with a long time ago on the Durango and Silverton, his name was Jonathan. He's actually got a pretty fucking badass job on the EBT, the East Broad Top. And from what I hear, they're really pushing to rebuild a lot of that line, bring it back. And hopefully within the next year or three, they're going to bring back some or most of their steam locomotives.
Boxcar the Husky says, I got to catch up on a couple of comments from him. So he goes, "I'm just an Okie from Muskogee." Ah. And then he also said, "So they have gone PSR, huh?" Talking about Cumberland Toltec. I don't think PSR would be the way to describe it. I'd say it's just, from what Ben is describing here, is just FUBAR level stuff. Maximum FUBAR level stuff.
Let's put it this way. It's kind of like a redneck family running the whole organization with a bunch of redneck bullshit going on. Like, mafia level type shit, too.
Right.
Like, if you ain't part of the family, we... type shit.
So what you're saying is that there's a lot of nepotism.
Yeah. And threatening his life if he gets on their wrong side. Like, that level of shit, too. Like, blatantly being told, "Oh yeah, there was just one guy, he didn't do what he wanted to do, and he ratted us out, we beat the shit out of him." Literally, that's what they told him one time. And they're like, "Oh, fuck." And then you see them, like, go, there's somebody that they're not happy with, they're gonna, like, fuck with their tires and shit. You're just like, God damn, these people are fucking nutbags. That's what I mean, like, redneck shit.
Well,
Like,
I mean, that...
Bubba,
I mean, that's sort of, yeah, Harry, yeah, big Bubba redneck stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, gangster level type shit too, man. You're just like, Jesus. Like
As that one guy from Deliverance would have said, "Squeal like a pig, boy." Yeah. That level of BS.
Yeah. My friend was always afraid of like somebody going to his rental house that he was renting and burning it to the ground with all the shit in it. Like, how fucking toxic of a work environment is that? To be afraid to even report to your boss what's going on, because what was crazy is like the boss that he'd report to, because like, well, he had like the guy that was like the foreman and the boss, and then the upper management, like the top of the food chain. Well, the guy that he would report to, his dad was was the guy that he's the boss, you know, the guy above his reporting boss. So it's like, who the fuck do you report to? I mean, you can't report to the dad because his son is the one you're underneath. So, you know, and so I mean, it's bad. It's gotten toxic and scary, and then he was telling us about some of the stuff that the Friends of the Coombers and Toltec does, like the section house that's up there in Chama on Coombers Pass. I mean, it was
Right.
almost all original. Now it ain't even original at all.
Okay.
One
So
day,
that was
the original building was. Go ahead.
no, I was just summarizing my trip here from Cheyenne to this spot up above Laramie. Okay. So yeah, continue, man.
You know, like one day the building was there, the next day they tore it down, and then like a little bit later on they rebuilt it all brand new. No original wood, no original nothing. Brand damn new. The Historical Society, because it's under historical jurisdiction, was fucking livid.
Welcome
Like
to
lawsuit
training.
livid.
Today you'll be taken through the operation.
Yeah. That is some BS, dude.
Yeah, the Friends leadership has gotten some pretty screwy stuff they've been doing out there too. Like, they'll build cars and like, oh, the car's supposed to have these kind of specs, this kind of wood. Yeah, we'll use a softer, thinner piece of wood for the inseals or for the frames or for the body. You know, so
Yeah.
What
That-
incarnation are you guys up to?
We're
Nothing.
we're yammering about everything in the world, apparently. Something something real going down with the CNT.
Oh,
Yeah.
you still streaming?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream off right now. So I'm gonna bid the good night to everybody on the YouTubes. We're gonna continue talking about this stuff off stream because it can't be publicized at all. So
No, I mean, one of these days you should invite people like Boxcar into the channel, to the server, so they can have a cool little Train Talks podcast front row seat or whatever.
oh, there you go.
The fan bleachers. There you go. Call it the fan seating.
Huh. You'll have to hold on. Yeah, hey Boxcar, if you have Discord, let me see if I could throw you a link invite. I hate the way YouTube does this now. Expires in 7 days, so let's go ahead and
Come on, you
send him an
guys.
invite if he's interested in joining here.
Mm-hmm.
If you have
Seems like a
Discord,
pretty cool dude.
Boxcar the Husky, please join the server if you wish. You know, the choice is yours, my man. The choice be yours. And you can engage in the conversation. And I can stop waiting 20 seconds for the thing to filter through so you can hear it. Because YouTube is lame that way.
You know, if you're going to speak Irish, you better speak it right, mister.
Yeah. So we will be looking forward to seeing you on the flip side of this conversation here. Of this stream, I mean. Which is about to end in a few seconds. Yeah. Okay, so I see the introductions. Train Dog 420. All right, buddy, we got you covered there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end that stream. So, good night, everybody. Peace out. Don't misbehave. And drop. Yep, deuces. Oh, and Dan, we gotta have you